take your black thread, we're just gonna build a bit of a thread dam. Essentially, this fly it's gonna be an ant, it's a sunken ant, it's designed to sink. So what we're trying to do is just simply create two abdomens, a front and a rear. So the thread dam along with the black bead is gonna be your black abdomen. So right now, a third of the fly's already done.
So there's
Nice.
a question earlier about how many wraps does it take to lock up the bead,
So it's like depending on the diameter, obviously, but it's what is it, a Tootsie Roll?
Same as a
How many-
Tootsie Pop,
Yeah,
yeah.
Tootsie Pop, so give me a
Into the
second.
center.
Just wrap it until the bead's firm?
Yeah, you're gonna make a few wraps. Let me undo this, I'll give you a better count. Even the different diameter thread, every thread, even if it's thin or flat or flatter, twisted, it's gonna be different, so. Just give you a approximate estimate, but you're just doing enough to kind of, just so you can no longer slip the bead over backwards.
Well, now, I didn't think you were that old to know about this. I used to tell people like the same thing, East Street Wrestling, and I'm like, what? And then the Super Bowl brought that commercial back, oh, now they know about
I mean, so there's 40 right there, close to 40.
That's what I thought.
That's because you put the abdomen.
Yes, yep.
Is an abdomen the same thing as belly?
Yeah, I didn't take anatomy.
Basically, yeah, because the thorax would be your,
Chest.
The
Yeah.
front of the butt too.
I was just kidding.
There's always one or two in every crowd, right there.
What grade are you guys?
So when I'm using thread to create a body, which is what I do with a lot of my polygons, something like a uni thread or like this Foley Mills flat, but I use a flat thread, something. And then anytime I'm actually just using it to kind of secure materials, I like more of a uni, something that's kind of twisted. Yeah.
And go fly master,
So once we get the front section taken care of, we're gonna just, we have that thread dam in the front. Now we're just gonna take our thread, we're gonna go in the rear. And essentially what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a very limited amount of this black dubbing. But we're gonna we're gonna stack maybe 3 or 4 wraps right on top of each other. Create kind of almost like a haystack, if you will. And then we're gonna take our thread and we're just gonna weave it around and then sort of bunch that into a ball. So with my dubbing right here, I'm just gonna dub this, try to keep the still pretty tight, but just do enough so I can get maybe about 3 or 4 wraps right on top of each other. So if you look what I'm doing here real quick, it's pretty simple. I'll just speed this up here real quick. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, let's go 5 with this size fly.
And those are at the bend, right?
At the bend, yep. Pull any excess off. Once I get my 4 or 5 wraps, then I'm gonna take my thread and just bare thread, go in and kind of bunch it, come in and just pull that nice and tight. Kind of group it into a nice high profile abdomen. So you can definitely see, if you wanna use a little bit more, you can do so. It's all personal preference. I just try to use as little as I can just to kind of increase the sink rate. I'm just gonna make 3 or 4, 4 or 5 wraps, and then how tight your dubbing is. Dub it, and then just take your thread and just kind of go and just bunch that up. Create a nice ball in the rear.
Oh, in the rear.
In the rear, yep. So yeah, the B is gonna be your front part, and then the dubbing is gonna be your rear part of the body. Yep.
Forward.
Black on black, but no, that's, for me, that's all I would, yeah, that's all I would do.
That's all?
Yeah, so, yep.
I don't understand what you're saying about bunching.
So once you make, what I'm gonna do is I'm
Fire
gonna,
my ball there, right?
here's my ball, I'm gonna take this, take my thread, pull, and just bunch that together. See what I'm saying right there?
Oh, like a figure eight.
Almost like a parachute.
Kind of like a
back
figure eight,
ball.
but just take it and just pull it and just bunching it together.
You're just going
So,
wrap
yeah.
on one side, wrap on the other.
Yeah, it's a tomato, yep, exactly,
Okay.
yeah, just bad instruction on my part.
Now, the question,
So,
we go to front end?
This one needs to go to Jenny Craig. Get a little less off.
No,
Just a
it just
little.
needs a-
Need the haircut.
A little less, just a little bump.
That's the queen.
Good cleavage.
So once you have your front and your rear, what we're gonna do is we're gonna just grab your 5 or 6 strands of crystal flash, and we're gonna tie this in crisscross, just like almost as if you're tying a set of dumbbell eyes. So I'm just going to what I like to do also, kind of wet the tips, kind of keep them nice and tight, combined. And we're just gonna lay, that strand I gave you, probably could tie maybe 4 or 5 flies, but we're just gonna try to get the legs to be about the same length as the hook shank on both sides. So we're just gonna secure this using a figure 8. Little loop.
Tie in all of them?
Yep, tie in all of them.
Okay.
So I'm gonna show you, we're gonna do a little figure 8 here, a couple wraps, secure that. So it's gonna look something like that, that's all that's it. We're just tying it perpendicular, and then you're just going to go open up, just, so you have 5 or 6 strands on the far side, 5 or 6 strands on the near side, about the same length as the hook shank. And that is it. And this is just trim. The one thing about flash is when you trim it, don't pull under tension. If you pull under tension, you cut the flash, it's going to flare on you. So just maintain the minimal amount of tension at that, and then just trim it.
You're going to tie it right behind the bead?
Kind of halfway between the bead and halfway between the abdomen.
Yes, sir.
So it at least resembles something of an ant. Then you just do your half inch closer to the bead, and if you like, you can use some whip finish, either super glue, or if you want to use a little bit of UV resin, you can do that as well, which is what I like to do here. Even fill some of that crack of the slotted bead there, fill that up, and then just hit with the light.
I have a theory, maybe you shouldn't have filled the hole, maybe like double and breathing.
Yeah.
Against the edge, you know?
Now,
About the length of the hook shank.
you want, try to make sure that each side is about the same length as the hook shank, maybe a little bit shorter. So if you look at this, it's a general rule, I mean, that's kind of what you're going
Just
for.
hold on, just tie it and
So
then.
it can be a little bit longer, it can be a little bit shorter, but just somewhere in that realm. Yes.
George,
That's it.
once we get them tied in, then we wrap back to the bead, is that correct?
Correct, and then you just finish it